Hello, welcome to the National Baseball League. Before I get to the baseball, the Canucks are Calder Cup champions. They've won it. They've done it. I don't have a Canucks shirt. I did, but it didn't. I grew out of it. So I just have the hat now. I want another one. Like the old Canucks. This is because it's the light. I like this more than their current look, but I also really like the current colors. Green and blue. Yeah, this stuff is what drove me to this team in the first place. At least part of it. But enough Canucks talk. Let's get to baseball. First of two boards. This is quite a lot of games. We'll start with Portland, San Francisco, then we'll work all the way down to Chicago, Edmonton, top to bottom, left to right. So let's start with the Portland Anchors and the San Francisco Firebirds. Anchors blank out the Firebirds 6-0, despite the Firebirds getting 10 hits. So let's tie the series at 1 here. So I want to know what happens in Game 3. That's what I want to know. How is San Francisco going to respond in Game 3? Will it be we lost this game? Now then they're almost like coming back for revenge. Is that what's going to happen, or is Portland just going to continue on today? We'll see. So 10 hits for the Firebirds, 4 hits for the Portland Anchors. Series tied at 1. Then we head to Tampa Bay and Seattle, so the Seattle Sasquatch here. A solid defensive performance in pitching-wise. 5-1 win over the Tampa Bay Titans. Ties the series at 1. 6 hits both teams. 1 error by the Sasquatch, but they win anyway. Doesn't really matter in the end. So my here, Tampa Bay, they're struggling with, if they're struggling facing Seattle pitching and defense, this probably means the Titans need to up their game. How are they going to do that? We will see. Then we head to Montreal and Houston, Game 2 of a 3-game series. Expos come back after losing 8-1. They win this one 8-7. Extra innings. How about that? Most likely extra innings. 13 hits for the Cosmos, 12 hits for the Expos. That's the games I want to cover. Like 14-inning thrillers. And just, the games that are just down to the wire. 1 error for the Expos, but they win the game, so it doesn't really matter. The thing, Houston, it seems like they kind of fell apart at the most important moment. This is games like this kind of, if you're like the Houston coach, which if you're like their coach or manager, probably the thought in the back of your mind is this is, let's hope this doesn't happen in the playoffs, because these types of wins, if your team struggles with like close games, they trouble to show up like offensively and defensively. When there's pressure, it will kill you. It'll kill your playoff run. It will kill it. And that's what Houston's got to figure out. Is this a problem? And if it is, they need to figure out how to address it. So enough on the Cosmos. Expos win 8-7. Then we head to the Albuquerque Aliens of the Washington Monuments. So the winning streak ends. I was hoping for it to be a good game. It just wasn't. Monuments blank the Expos 3-0. Ends the Aliens winning streak like that, and they are second in the Southwest Division. 10 hits for the Monuments, 4 hits for the Aliens, but Aliens are scoreless. So do they continue that success from here on out? Now, from an Aliens perspective, that's what you hope for, and if so, how? So the land of the Sailors and the New York Knights. Game 3 of a 4-game series. I'll cover Game 4 today at the Battle of New York. And the Sailors, another 6-5, really close. All 3 games have been close. They've all been close. Sailors just enough to get the win, 6-5. 10 hits and an error. Similar to Montreal here. Montreal and Houston. The Knights, they're falling apart. Oh my God, they struggle when the pressure's high. And we'll see, will that cost Because that's been basically every game. They just couldn't show up to the occasion. And my question is, can the Sailors sweep the series? We're going to see it today, and I'll be covering it. I'm hoping it's going to be a good game. Sailors currently lead 3-0 as they win this one 6-5. Anyway, we'll move on to game 3 of a 4-game series, the Oakland Ocean and the Texas Twisters. So for the Tornado Bunch, a close game for, I'm going to call them the Tornado Bunch. I like that, the Tornado Bunch. 5-4 win for the Twisters over the Ocean here. Pretty close game. Oakland, first of all, they're giving up a lot of hits. They're getting some hits, but Oakland's got to figure out the pitch and defense here. Similar-ish to New York, but they couldn't respond to Texas, since the way baseball works is the away team, they go first, and then when you're the home team, you go second. So that is kind of a benefit you do get of a home team, is that, let's say the game goes to extra innings, and then the away team takes the lead. Then the home team has that chance to respond. The away team never has that, so when the away team loses, and it's when they can't score, it's kaput. It's kaput for them. They don't have that second chance. The home team does. It's kind of an advantage. In Oakland, they failed. They failed in this game. They lose 5-4. Twisters lead 2-1. We'll see. Can Oakland split the series with a win today? We'll see. Then we into the Detroit Motors and the Philadelphia Liberty. I feel like I'm getting better at this. Doing coverage than just saying the scores, because I'm starting to ask questions and talk about what does this mean. So the Motors and the Liberty. This one's a little more interesting. It's hard to really take anything just because Detroit, they couldn't respond. You're giving up all these runs, but their bats aren't showing up. You need your bats to show up. They need to focus on getting their pitching staff to perform better, and they need to learn how to. They need to improve on all fronts as for today's game. Just hopefully what they batting practice. Maybe there's something each player, or I don't even know, but I want to see if it's a trend. I want to. You know what? I'm gonna take a look at Detroit's record right now. I have the teams. I have Xbox right here. It's open. Okay, yep, I'm on Detroit. April. So, did I write that correctly? Oh wait, no, I see what I did. Because they played 3 games, not 2. So, okay. It's a 4-game series. No, Philadelphia leads 2-1. Can Detroit split the series? Now I can see some weird. So they're having some Detroit. Yeah, they're having struggles. They're just not winning consistently. And I'm looking at the record, and they're just not. It has become a trend. They just seem to. Some games that they just let things go. This might be why they miss the playoffs, because they just don't. They don't win consistently enough. They need to work on getting their pitching staff better. So then we into Toronto and New Orleans. The Gators and the Huskies here. Close game. New Orleans on top. They win 4-3. 10 hits and an error. Toronto, they need to work on their batting. Just 6 hits, but they come in an error as well. And they need to get more hits, like, in succession. because they didn't get that. I mean, New Orleans didn't really get that either, but they got enough to win. So then we head to San Diego and Vegas, so similar to like this shutout game up here. Similar to Albuquerque, except for without the winning streak part. San Diego, they couldn't hit. They could not hit to save their life. Maybe weather conditions? Yeah, I don't want to do that for every team because it's just going to make the video take longer. San Diego, they only get 2 hits. They committed errors. That's always going to be bad for your team. They're giving stuff up at the same time. They need to focus on offense because this is not for to try and win the series. We'll see. Then we head to the Arrows and the Utah Raptors. Pretty close game, but overall, Atlanta they need 3 hits. They scored 2 runs, but they only had 3 hits in total. That number needs to go up. That's why they lost this game, because they're just not hitting enough. They're not making enough contact. Their batting number, they need to start learning to make contact more often. They only got 3 hits and they lose 4-2. And the pitching was fine. It wasn't the best in the world, but was it bad? No, not terrible because they left a lot of runners on base, but the Utah Raptors still scored 4 runs. I mean, they need, obviously, working on their pitching is always good, but they need to focus on getting more hits. The land of the Oilers and the Cincinnati Stingers' second series this season already. The Boston, and now the series is tied at 1 in close games. Cincinnati, like Houston or New York, can't perform when there's pressure. Struggling in innings, Boston. I mean, I don't obviously know how the game went, but like it could have been maybe just one bad pitch and then game over, because that does happen in baseball. You throw one bad pitch at the wrong time, and there you just blow a game like that. That obviously could have happened. It's not, but Cincinnati here, 6-5 loss. I don't know my performance in extra innings. I don't even know where to find that stat in the game. If it's there, I would love to see it. To see how many games in extra innings are they winning, because it does show if they're how well they perform under pressure. Because extra innings, there is more pressure to that, and if they consistently make dumb plays, they just blow the game. They lose. Then that's always a bad sign for like the playoffs, because there is tension, and if you can't perform well under like pressure and tension, then yeah, that's when you're just gonna collapse. Whalers win 6-5, 9 hits for both teams, 1 error for Cincinnati, so a crucial error again. Gotta work on making those plays. Series tied at 1. The final game of this board, the Edmonton Eagles and the Chicago Railers. Eagles blowout win 18-3. Oh my. Great for the Edmonton Eagles. Good Chicago. I don't even know what you do here. Edmonton leads the series 2-0. Chicago's they've been mediocre. More towards bad, just bad. Mediocre. 3 runs, 10. I mean, they're getting hits, but I don't know what you do here. Maybe it's a one-off. If it becomes like a problem where you runs in double digits consistently, and then you're not also scoring in double digits, therefore losing a lot of games to that, then that means you need to work on your pitching. So that's it for this board. See you for board number 2. So here's board number 2. We'll go through these quickly. So Minnesota and Orlando. So Orlando win this series. They've lost back-to-backs. 11-1 now with 9-3. It's going to be, what do you do now? We lost 2 in a row. If they lose a 3rd game in a row, they got to figure something out. So that because right now they're sitting at 12-9. That's not bad. Just they want to stay. They got to figure out a way to stay above 500. Because the problem is they're giving up lots in this series. Maybe it's just Minnesota, but they're giving up lots of runs. Lose this one 9-3. 13 hits for the Northern Lights, 1 error. Only 7 hits and 2 errors. they're only able to score 3 runs. Minnesota leads 2-0, so they got stuff to figure out. Then we head to St. Louis. The Stars and the Aviators. Again. It's a bad pitching for the Aviators. It loses them this game. They give up 11 hits and 7 runs. Stars really good defensively. They allow 9 hits, but they only allow 4 runs to score. 2 errors by the Aviators infield. They gotta fix their fielding. And they gotta fix their fielding and basically their defense. They need to fix it. Stars lead 2-0. Then we have the final game for today. The Vancouver Grizzlies and the Memphis Blues. Grizzlies 5 runs, 13 hits, no errors. Blues 2-6, no errors. Blues lose 5-2. So Memphis, they give up a lot of hits in this game, and they don't necessarily score anything. It's gonna be how do they prevent giving up all these hits? 13. I don't know if they allow 5 runs scored. It's not that bad for how much they're keeping some runs on base, but still enough. And improving their offense will also help. But right now, mostly we're going to focus on what you got. But by like August, they're going to be focusing on who can we acquire. Which I'm going to get more into that as the season goes on, since we're still really early in the NBL season. So that'll do it for this video, and see ya. Goodbye.